Hi guys. You're probably wondering what I'm doing here this morning. This is some Luna lights that I've had forever, and I'm playing with some rubber. I just dug some stuff out of the drawer, just putting things away, and you know how it is when you put things away, you find things that you haven't played with in a while. So I'm just putting a little bit of that onto a jelly printing plate, and this is a rubber gasket that I had just put some carving onto because I found a rubber gasket in my drawer. Imagine that. Things I do find. And I'm going to put that impression on there, and then I'm going to come in with a piece of paper, and I'm going to lift that and see what we get. Just kind of playing with things. What I've really been playing with this morning is some stamp carving. I ran into the drawer that had, okay, so you can see it does leave the impression of the stamp there. Probably not the best color choices. I probably should have picked something darker. Well, let's try that again on something darker. So putting the Luna lights back on. This is a water-based medium by Stamp Oasis, and I don't even know if they make it anymore because, like I said, I've had this for a very long time, and I put way too much on here. So I'm just going to take some back off, put it on this piece of paper. But it has silver shimmer to it, which I thought would be pretty. I don't know. I'm already thinking about Valentine's Day, if you can believe that. And so here's the stamp again. I'm going to put it in here. And I don't care that it's off center. I just wanted to get the impression onto that piece there. And I'm going to come in with a darker, maybe a darker piece of card. It's textured. I don't think I want anything textured. Let's grab this. There we go. Okay, I think you can see that a little bit better. So, yeah, it is working. Here is the image that still has some of this on it. And I can even add some more because it might be kind of dry now. And I can also use that as a rubber stamp. Of course, it made a mess. This is some paper I was playing with when I was doing my cuts. Let's see, gives it a pretty little shimmer. Okay, so yeah, didn't have enough ink on there. Anyway, this, my friends, is gasket rubber material. Popular Mechanics 6x6. It was $1 in the, well, maybe even less. It was in a clearance bin, obviously. And I was wondering how it would cut and work with these different materials because it's just been sitting in my drawer. So you can see it cuts really easily. If you want to create some kind of image to use. Okay, so you can see that works just fine. The other thing that I was using, let me get this cleaned up a little bit, was, and this is just a tile. If you're cutting rubber, you want to have a self-healing mat or a tile or some glass or something underneath so you're not damaging anything. clean up my brayer a little bit because it had stuff on it. Okay, so what I'm talking about, I was thinking about some of the lovebirds. Okay, Valentine's lovebirds. So I dug out some different tools here. I have the Speedball Speedy Cut. This is a nice soft rubber that works. This is some rubber that I picked up down at Dick Blick. Very flexible, very good for doing this. I also have full sheet rubber if you want to do a bigger project. And save all these little pieces like this. You can always make some little tiny stamp that you might have a purpose for. Okay, so here's a big rubber, and you can see it has two different layers. This is a little bit more like a stamp layer on the top to carve down through, and this is Blick Ready cut plate, 9 by 12. Okay, the other thing that you need to do this with is your cutting tools, and I have a number of them. I have some, this is a Speedball. These are walnut hollow. These are meant for wood cutting, but they work just fine on here. And they have different tips. This one has a V tip, and this one has a U tip, and they're different shapes and sizes. And some of the new ones have actually a holder in the handle. I think I have one of those someplace. Not sure where it is right now. But these are very sharp, so you want to make sure that you keep them in something like this so that you're not gouging yourself. There's another wider V tip. Sorry, you can't really see that very well. Anyway, so I suggest that you keep the points away from yourself, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about is when you're cutting. I like to start with just going around the edge of my image, and you can see I have an inside and an outside edge, and what I'm going to leave is the black line. So I'm going to cut right around the outside edge, and you don't have to go real deep to start with. You can come back and cut more, but you can see that this cuts really easily through that soft rubber. And then as you get a line cleared away, then you can take your gouge tool and you can come in and clean up some of that and move it away from your image. Now here's one that I started earlier, and you can see where I've gone around the image and I've cut down in, and now what I want to do is come in with these tools and clean the area on the exterior away, and you don't want to go too deep, but that's how you carve your rubber stamp. And then if you've got excess up here that you're not going to use, just take your scissors, trim it out. Okay, so I can show you, let me get a different color, what this is going to look like on a piece of paper. If I have a piece of paper, I'm sure I do somewhere. Yep, here we go. And so I'm just going to ink this up, and you can see when I do that, you can see the areas that have been cut out and the areas that are still remaining. And I can just do an impression. And you can put duo stick on the back of these if you want to mount them onto an acrylic block. Like if you want to put that onto an acrylic block, you just let that dual adhesive dry on the back of your rubber, and then it becomes tacky, and then you can do that. But you can see I have the start of a pretty cute little birdie. So that's it for now. Bye.